We filmed in Battersea Park. They were all really good. I mean, obviously, the council has to be involved and the police, especially when using firearms, and everyone was really helpful, understood, obviously, we were on a low budget and tried to help us out as much as possible. So we were really, really lucky, actually. It was my responsibility, ultimately. We had location managers and stuff, and they were very good, but some of the locations were very hard work and took quite a lot of convincing.
Go forward, go forward. A bit further forward.
You're a bit further forward. Aye, aye. I haven't got a clue. I just
Everybody thinks they're a Geordie all of a sudden.
We did have trouble with one of the locations, and we did, in fact, evacuate it quite quickly.
Electrician came round, had a look, decided to call up people, tell them what we're doing here, and it's just like, oh man, it just makes you angry, like when people have got nothing else in their lives, and therefore they have to try and do something to wreck other people's enjoyment. You've got everyone here who's working for free, they've been working so hard, and one guy comes and opens his big mouth.
Anything that is unneeded around here, tidy it away, because these people have got to think this is like a tiny little student production that are coming around.
That's what I've heard, so it means all the lights have to come down and stuff like that as well?
No, just anything lying around, like the bags and stuff, just put it all into one corner and make it all, like... Minimalistic.
No, like, just get rid of signs and things like that. Well, we're fucked. No, we're not really fucked.
Well, we are really, to be honest.
We're not really fucked, it's just that...
Just a minus...
Yeah, some people like to, as Dan says, like to put their big nose where it doesn't belong. And just try and kind of, like, stop people from being creative. That's what it's all about.
The guy that we'd rented it from didn't tell us that he hadn't informed the people that actually owned it. You know, we were under the impression that everything had been, you know, gone through fine. And the owners turned up one day and we all had to scarper quite quickly for a few hours. But Ian actually carried on shooting the scene.
So I just carried on shooting because we were shooting in the basement. So I just carried on shooting. And I think they came and they saw us shooting that scene and then they weren't really too bothered, so it was fine.
So how long was I to stay in the pub?
Well, this is the story. We're at the pub for probably 2-3 hours tops. Reason being we had to bug out of the building because we're not supposed to be filming here. Which, if you've ever seen a film crew pack up and leave a building in 10 minutes, you should have been here today. Yeah, things are going well today. We've picked up where we left off, back on schedule. It's just about 10 o'clock, so it's been another 12-hour day plus, so spirits are still high. That will be the same again tomorrow, you can guarantee it. Isn't it, Marshall?
That's right.
Basically, Darius Cruz's character kind of falls into our tribute to the 60s and 70s cop movies, because in those kind of movies, there's always certain things like the screaming black boss. You know, Donna was cast because she's good-looking, and she, you know, obviously played the good-looking rookie, the grizzled cop. That's where Darius comes in, and Anthony played him very well as the grizzled cop. So if you look at cop movies, you have certain occurrences in cop movies, like, for instance, The Sane. I think it all started off with Clint Eastwood saying, do you feel lucky, punk? And then other cop movies started copying it, like Lethal Weapon, you know, I'm too old for this shit. And we got Darius saying...
Same shit, different day.
So we were just trying to pay tribute to that, and that's his character, basically. You've seen it so many times. That character is Darius.
The relationship between Darius and Abby starts off with much difficulty because Darius is a lone wolf in his job. He doesn't like working with anyone. And he's particularly has been chaperoning another member of his team who's undercover, and he doesn't want to break that pattern for security reasons, for his own reasons, security to his own life, etc., etc. And then he's twinned with this young upstart, Abby Barrett, and he's not happy about that at all.
I think the Abby and the Darius relationship is a lovely relationship. I think it's a very genuine and very organic relationship in a sense. I think they're both at a place where they're, you know, a little bit cynical. Abby's is probably more superficial. She's got all this emotional stuff going on with the pregnancy and Cummings and all of this male ego that's kind of beaten her down to a certain extent and certainly intimidating her. And so I think that's why she's in this place of, you know, guarded and won't let anybody in, and she's a bit like a, you know, kind of wounded animal at some points. They both don't want to let another person in at all right now, and then just from being together they eventually do, because I think what they have in common is they both definitely fall on the side of good.
I'm not the bad guy. I'm not even the bad guy, though. That's the thing, see? Trig is essentially somebody who does bad things occasionally, but I would venture not without conscience, for one. And secondly, in the context of the film, he doesn't really do anything bad. He's supportive and honourable to his relationship with Rebecca/Margaret.
Benjamin Radcliffe was kind of like Captain Dobie in Starsky and Hutch, but without the Krispy Kreme donuts and the ice cream. He was just a no-nonsense kind of guy, really. Been in the force for years, been there, seen it, done it, got the T-shirt, everything, read the book. He would like to have had time with you know, the likes of some of the people in his task force, but he just didn't really. So it was one of those where, you know what, if you're hard enough, you can cope with it on your own, but if you're not, then sorry, see you later, bye.
My character, the character of Cummings, essentially, you know, it's a supporting character, and the character of Cummings is really there to service the Abby character. No pun intended. No, what I mean is it's to service Abby's journey, really. But at the same time, yeah, I mean, there were some layers to that character as well. Yes, he's a cop, but he's also in bed with the McCanns. So, you know, there was some interesting stuff to play there as far as that's concerned.